I'm not sure this could be called an editorial. It's a plaintive cry from the heart. I guess it's the farmer's son coming out in me. I've lived through dreadful drought. I've seen stock die in front of me. I was in Queensland at the weekend. When I landed in Brisbane, it was like the end of the world. The bushfires were horrific. My mother's family came from Stanthorpe. Parents there are sending their kids to school dirty. There's no water to shower. Stanthorpe's not alone. A lot of places to which we broadcast have run out of tank water. Conditions are unfathomable. How do you fight bushfires without water? 70 burning across Queensland at the weekend. Homes destroyed in Stanthorpe. Communications and communities evacuated. Fires ripped through the Gold Coast hinterland, northern New South Wales, Sarabah, Beechmont. Ferocious conditions. The scenic Rim Mayor, Greg Christensen, praised the legion of firefighters. Rest assured, these are dreadful times. Many residents being told by authorities to leave. The wind was atrocious. No rain on the horizon, so you've got the mind-numbing cocktail. Awful heat, low humidity and strong winds. Ipswich, Noosa, Stanthorpe, Beechmont, Burraburry, that's near Chinchilla, Verrierdale, that's on the Sunshine Coast near Eumundi, Beechmont's in the Gold Coast hinterland, 45 minutes drive from the Gold Coast. Resources are stretched to the limit. At the weekend, there were dreadful dust storms. A dust storm, as I've said, is a farmer's topsoil from their best paddock. It's the silt from the bottom of their biggest empty dam. Truly, it can be said, the dust storms at the weekend were the tears of the bush blowing in the wind. Where is government? Silent and absent. A 71-year-old in Tenterfield, Penny Stanbridge, first saw the Tenterfield bushfire when she was making lunch. 20 minutes later, her home of 23 years double brick was gone. She called 000 at 3:10 on Saturday afternoon. By 3:30, she was watching her house completely destroyed, full of everything she'd collected her whole life. Her son, Ross Stanbridge, lives on the family's property in Stanthorpe. He kept all the vintage cars in a shed out the back of his mother's house. There's nothing left. He had a 1906 Cadillac. His father died on the property 11 years ago. And when his dad was cremated, the son put his father's ashes through the engine and, quote, blasted him out onto the property. The Cadillac's gone. This is a national disaster. Parliament is sitting in Canberra, but governments are talking about abortion, Olympic Games, refugees, transgender. I spoke yesterday to Penny Lamaro. She put something up on Facebook at the weekend from Armidale. This is a metaphor of the bush at the moment. The Prime Minister should be mobilising every known resource to address this issue. The heartland of the nation is being destroyed. Nature has declared war on us. Farmers have nothing left to give. They feel condemned to death row. Canberra talks about getting the policy settings right. What policy setting ignores this? Penny Lamaro wrote on Facebook, and I quote, "It feels like Armageddon, or what I imagine it would be like after World War III bombs razed our land. My eyes sting with the dreams and hopes of small families trying to make it on the land. I'm choking on the soil that is their past, their present, and any future they have. I'm out here trying to see if I can help the many who've crumbled under the weight of death and loss, but I feel like I need to save myself now. And now the new and very real threat of fire. Can dirt burn? Ironically, the parched earth makes fires faster and more erratic. People have even less time to gather the detritus of their lives, less time to keep each other safe, less chance, less luck. When I get home with stinging eyes and a heavy heart, my old mare trudges up the paddock to chew listlessly on the results of my frantic attempts to bring in enough money to keep us all going. Her eyes tell me she's tired too of the struggle, and I feel in her spirit that we've got a long way to travel yet. I don't know how much my daughter understands of how bad things are. How much does a young teenager comprehend of money and its limits? She understands that she can't ride a horse at home anymore because the ground is too hard and dry. She understands that she can't ever miss feeding the animals every morning and night while I'm working extra hours because they'll starve. But I'm not sure she understands how limited the resources might become for her to continue to do the thing she loves most in the world. That bloody horse makes everything okay. Even the fetid, stinking creek water that stains everything it touches, yet it's all we have in the house. and humping load after load of hay and feed every week, and the wearing of dirty clothes because we can only wash in town once a week and it's as expensive as hell. They say country people are tough. It's not tough to go on when you don't have a choice. There just isn't anything else to do. She wrote, if you know someone in a drought-affected area, get in touch. Tell them you're thinking of them. Better still, go visit them. Spend some money in their dying town. Standing in the middle of a dust storm, it's easy to feel like you've been forgotten, left behind, don't matter. I plead, she said, for those who today have watched their soil disappear on the wind because there was no grass to hold it down. And for those who tonight are watching what's left burn up in angry flames. And those who are falling exhausted into bed tonight, who can't sleep for worry, but who will rise in a few short hours to do it all again. You can't make it rain, she said, but you can reach out to country folk to let them know you care. You can go for a drive, spend your money in a struggling town. You can make sure every cent you spend on produce goes to an Aussie farmer, not an international conglomerate. You can talk about the drought and keep talking about it so we know we aren't forgotten. The author of that's Penny Lamaro. Canberra will tell you they're not forgotten, but they're simply words. Prime Minister, prove it and mobilise the nation's resources to address this catastrophe, because if our farms go, Prime Minister, we are all gone.